Hi, welcome to Fantasy Booms and Busts Week 8. My name's CJ Galino.
And I'm Sam Bloomquist. Let's get into it, CJ. Who do you like?
Sam, I really like Jeremy Curley. I like Jeremy Curley because he's really stepped up and been that quality wide receiver that rookie quarterback Geno Smith needs. Everyone thought going into the season that it would be Stephen Hill, the second-year wide receiver who had a great rookie year, but he just hasn't been performing for Geno. And Curley's been that consistent presence on the field that Geno needs. And although the Jets are playing Cincinnati, which is a great defense, I think Curley can continue to have a good week, just like last week. He had about 100 yards and a touchdown.
I can't see Curley having the greatest game of his career against Cincinnati, but he's definitely has stepped up and been the receiver that Geno needs this season. Somebody I like is Ruben Randle of the New York Giants. Even though they're having a terrible season, the Giants recently are coming off their first win of the season against the Minnesota Vikings. And next week they play Philadelphia. Even though they got creamed in that game, Ruben Randle's got 4 touchdowns on the season, and last time they played Philly, he had 21 points. And Philadelphia has given up the most points to wide receivers, and Ruben Randle is someone who's possibly going to be available on the waiver wire this week.
Yeah, Ruben Randle's a quality pick. He had a great game last time, as you mentioned, against Philly. He had 21 fantasy points, which is huge. I think that he can do it again. He's got 4 touchdowns, so he's clearly a red zone threat. So I see where you're going with that. Someone I really don't like this week is Larry Fitzgerald. We talk about Larry Fitzgerald many times on the show, and I don't like him because Carson Palmer's a quarterback. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Carson Palmer can't really do much. All he's got to do is get Larry Fitzgerald the ball, and Fitzgerald will take care of the rest, but he can't seem to do that. The offensive line is playing horrific. They have no real running game. Fitzgerald's the only threat, so I just can't see Carson Palmer getting him the ball.
Well, next week the Cardinals take on the Falcons, and the Falcons don't have the greatest secondary. They do have some corners who will pose a threat, and they'll probably put their best corner on Fitzgerald. So I don't think that he's going to get the best game out of his career this week either. Someone you may want to pick up off the waiver wire, though, is Darius Heyward-Bey. Even though he's on the bye week this week, Reggie Wayne tore his ACL and recently got put on the injured reserve. He's got Andrew Luck throwing the ball to him, and he's basically going to be stepping into T.Y. Hilton's old place now that T.Y. Hilton's going to have to take on Reggie Wayne's workload. And T.Y. Hilton has been having a great season. And even since Reggie Wayne's been out, last game he had 13 points against the Broncos. So if Darius Heyward-Bey is on the waiver wire, you're going to be wanting to pick him up right now.
Yeah, Darius Heyward-Bey is a good pick, although he's on a bye week this week, so it'd be someone you could pick up for next week. With Reggie Wayne going down, I definitely see where you're going with that pick, and I agree. Someone I like is Eddie Lacy for this week. I really like Eddie Lacy strictly because of who he's playing. He's playing the Vikings, and Peyton Hillis put up 81 all-purpose yards and 2 scores against the Vikings, and 10 days ago, he was a volunteer high school football coach. So he's clearly not in football shape, and he was still able to put up good numbers. Eddie Lacy is better than Peyton Hillis, so you put 2 and 2 together. I can't see him having a bad game against a pretty mediocre Vikings defense minus Jared Allen.
I agree with you there. Eddie Lacy is nearing the running back 2 spot on many rosters, and he's really someone you're going to want to start putting into your lineup every week. Somebody I like this week is Jacquizz Rodgers. Even though he's not a great runner, Atlanta's playing Arizona, which is basically a run defense. But the pass-happy Falcons definitely have the power from Matt Ryan to get Jacquizz the ball. And with Julio Jones and Roddy White both out, Matt Ryan only has Harry Douglas, Jacquizz Rodgers, and Tony Gonzalez to throw to. Most of the defenses are going to be planning on covering Harry Douglas, the first-string wide receiver as it is, and the famous tight end Tony Gonzalez. And most defenses haven't picked up that they can pass to their running backs, and they do quite frequently. And Jacquizz has been putting up a lot of points since Steven Jackson is still out.
Yeah, I like Jacquizz Rodgers as well. I like him strictly because he can come out of the backfield, like you said, and make some plays through the air. He's also a great threat in the play-action game. Like you said, they're going to be having to throw the ball a little bit, so defenses are going to be honing in on that, and they could probably catch him in the play-action. Rodgers can come out of the backfield and make some plays. Someone I like is Le'Veon Bell. I like Le'Veon Bell. Since he returned to the Steelers lineup, they've been really committed to running the ball, and that's not something that the Steelers have been doing as of late. But Le'Veon Bell is a quality running back. He's fast. He's durable. He doesn't really turn the ball over, which is huge in the NFL. So now that the Steelers are actually pushing the ball and trying to run the ball and making a legitimate effort to do that, I think Le'Veon Bell is going to get some serious carries, and when he gets a lot of carries, he can make plays.
I agree with you there. The Steelers are desperately looking for something on offense because they haven't had the greatest offensive season. They've got the defense to win games, but they need some sort of power on their offense to keep pushing. Somebody I don't like this week is Mike Glennon of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This week they're playing the Carolina Panthers, a divisional rivalry, and the Carolina Panthers have given up the least amount of points to quarterbacks this season. Last week they lost Doug Martin, their star running back, and the Bucs are just a constantly struggling franchise this year. Mike Glennon, the rookie, took Josh Freeman's place, and I feel like he hasn't found his place yet. And I just don't see him having a good game this week against Carolina. If you need a quarterback, I'd say turn to somebody else on the waiver wire besides Mike Glennon.
I see where you're going with that. Although Mike Glennon has really impressed me, I know. If I needed a quarterback this week, I wouldn't be too hesitant to start Mike Glennon. I mean, he's playing well. His last 2 starts, he kind of got thrown into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. They released Freeman kind of out of nowhere. Glennon had to come in, make some plays, and he's played well. He's shown that he can throw the ball in this league and that he can compete. Carolina's defense is good, but I don't know. I could see starting Glennon this week. I don't know. It's kind of it could be there, it could not be there, but I see where you're going with that.
All right, this has been it for Fantasy Football Booms and Busts. I'm Sam Bloomquist.
And I'm CJ Galino.
Have a good night, folks.